Hi everyone, we're building a house together, which is so crazy to even say out loud because I never thought this day was going to come so soon, and I'm honestly just so happy to be able to have a place with my partner and I, and obviously Shadow. Oh. I know, right? Even Shadow agrees. I think he does know what's going on. We have tried to include Shadow in the entire process. So we've seen, plots of land, we've had meetings with people, and I've tried to include him and have him in these places so that he is part of the family and just part of just the whole thing, because this is a really, really exciting time for us right now. To be honest, I've been keeping this on the down low for about 2 to 3 months now. My partner, the person that I'm doing this with, is obviously not on this video because currently right now as I'm speaking we are in lockdown in New Zealand, so unfortunately he is not on this video, but I am going to video call him and see what his response is. I don't think he knows that I'm about to do this, so it's going to be really funny. Stop. Look, I've actually got this recording. No, stop. Oh my god. Do you remember when we started all this?
Do I remember what?
When we started all this?
Yeah.
What month was it?
January?
It was February.
Oh, okay.
Your lighting is so good. I told them how your company... Okay, bye. So essentially this video is mainly just going to be covering the first 2 to 3 months of the initial build process. So we've got buying or building a house and why we chose to build, choosing the right building company for us, choosing the development and plot of land and the location, mortgages, banks and lawyers. I'll also include a little bit about our kitchen and how we chose that and designed that. So hopefully this is quite a short video. I don't want to make this very long and boring. I have a lot of vlog clips throughout, so you're not just going to be seeing me sitting here talking and blabbering on for like 20 minutes. I am vlogging this entire process up until we get the keys, and I mean even further than that I'm going to be vlogging, like an empty house tour and a furnished house tour, and yeah, the entire thing. This is so exciting for me, and this is truly something that I absolutely thrive on and want to completely indulge myself into. I love talking about it, I love hearing about it, I love watching other people's videos on how they build a house and what they chose and just the entire process. Like, I absolutely love this. When you first decide to get a house, you can either build or buy, obviously. Thomas and I had a look at some existing houses on the market, and we didn't find anything that we actually liked that fitted our lifestyles and our needs and our requirements for the budget that we were looking for. So it was quite an easy decision to make to build a place. We were also not exactly in a massive rush to move in somewhere, so we chose to build. And the second stage is choosing your building company, we knew what we wanted was a land and house package. So how we decided what company to use and work with was purely just being on Trade Me and looking at existing new houses that certain companies have built, and then finding ones that we really liked. So either by just the plans or the layouts of houses. We had about 2 to 3 companies that we were like, yeah, we really want to work with them, we like the style that they have, and yeah, so I basically went along and contacted these companies to have a first initial meeting. So I had a first initial meeting with 3 different companies that provided land and house packages. The company that we decided to eventually build with is Signature Homes. So we chose Signature Homes mainly because we wanted to work with a company that we could trust and were also on the same page as us. Our initial meeting with Signature Homes went really well. It probably went to about almost 2 hours, I would say. So the lady that we're working with from Signature Homes, she sat down with us. So in that meeting, we looked over a few plans that Signature Homes owned, and we could just decide on the straight up, like right there, which plans we liked, which ones we didn't like. Just going into this meeting, Thomas and I already had 2 to 3 things that we knew we needed in a house. And so one of those things was a walk-in pantry. So the kitchen area, the walk-in pantry, is our most important part of the house for us, and we knew that's where we wanted to spend the most money in and upgrade certain things, while maybe downgrading or keeping other parts of the house more simple and basic. So we needed a walk-in pantry. We also knew we wanted a very open space area. So living room, kitchen and dining room is all in one room, and we wanted to be completely open and very bright and welcoming. So we wanted some ranch sliders on either one side of the room or the other side. And then thirdly, we needed a place that was hard floors. So either vinyl or concrete, or just some sort of flooring that was not carpet, because of this one here. Because we have a dog, it is much easier to have hard flooring than carpet in terms of maintenance, cleaning, and just the whole shebang. So that was a definite must. Moving on to the location that we chose, and this is probably, I would have to say, probably one of the most important parts of this entire house build process. Obviously, where you choose to live in the area is extremely vital to, the entire house, Thomas and I agreed on a couple of places that we knew we wanted to live in Christchurch. Something that I learned throughout this process was that certain areas in Christchurch cost a lot more to build than other areas, purely because of the city council and what they require. So for Thomas and I, it was pretty easy to choose the location that we wanted. We chose an area that didn't have that many requirements by the city council, which meant our costs could be as low as possible, because we knew, again, we wanted to upgrade certain areas of the house. So I was very cautious that the price of a house was going to go up pretty fast, because let's just say I have a pretty expensive taste. So we actually chose the location of the development that we wanted to live in during that first meeting with Signature Homes. And leaving that meeting, we came away with a thing like this, which is the lots of this area that we want to build in. The agent had highlighted for us the lots that were available, obviously the ones that are sold already, and stage 1 of this area was actually sold. So we were definitely looking at stage 2, but stage 2, the titles had not been released, and essentially that just means no one can build on it yet. So you can start buying lots, like land, in stage 2, but you just cannot build on it. There were actually only like a few lots left in stage 2. We didn't have much of a choice. They were actually very close together, so it wasn't exactly an ideal area, but thankfully another one of their clients, Signature Homes clients, actually pulled out of their lot, and so our agent actually contacted me, like I think a week later or something, was like, hey Vanessa, this lot number has just opened up. We've had someone pull out. Do you want this? Do you want to reserve it? If you want it, you've got to pay a deposit today. Because Thomas and I already knew that we wanted to live in this area, this is exactly the place we are going to build at. Honestly, talked for about 2 seconds and did not hesitate to put a deposit on this lot that someone else pulled out of, because it was in a much nicer area of the development, basically. So we actually put down a deposit that day and reserved it. Now onto more kind of boring stuff. So banks and mortgages. This is probably like really important, obviously, because most people get a mortgage when they buy a house. Like, houses are bloody expensive. Long story short, my company that I work with actually had a deal, kind of like a work perk with a certain bank. Someone that I knew recently bought a house using this certain bank, and so I actually just asked for his recommendation to refer me to the mortgage guy, the bank person that he used, because he absolutely raved about this person. So I was like, yeah, cool, I really want to speak to someone, I want to start off somewhere. I got a meeting with, let's just call him K, because I don't want to disclose his full name. When you first go in for a mortgage, you gotta really prepare a bunch of documents. It's boring stuff like your ID, your income, your KiwiSaver. So KiwiSaver is basically like a retirement, or you can use it for a first home purchase in New Zealand. And credit card statements and all that kind of boring stuff that you need to prepare, and they always ask for from the last 3 months. So Thomas and I prepared all of this. Lawyers. So the way I understand this is that you only utilize your lawyer, I think, twice throughout this entire process. The first time is when that sales and purchase agreement has been out, it gets sent to your bank and your lawyer, and they look over it, and obviously the lawyer makes sure that everything looks right and sign away your life basically. And the only other time that you need them is at the end when we get the keys. You only use them twice. We got a lawyer recommended to us, so that's done. With Signature Homes and our agent, we have been in correspondence, I would say, literally like 2 to 3 times a week. Like, we keep in contact so often, and it's honestly been one of like a pretty easy process for me so far. You know, we have each other's numbers, we email each other back and forth, we have been changing the plan, the layout, and we've been choosing certain things for the house, like vanities, tapware, shower stuff. Yeah, just certain little things like that you got to choose. And the price varies between different items and materials and all of that. So that's all been done really through email. We did have a second meeting with Signature Homes. Thomas wasn't actually there for that one because he was at a wedding in another city, but that's fine. I went there myself and it went really, really well. Honestly, it was like a 2-hour meeting. So during that meeting, basically, Thomas and I had made a bigger list of things that we definitely wanted in the house and things that we didn't really care too much about to let go of. So for example, a bath. Finding out how much the bath was gonna cost, we decided to let go of that because it wasn't really a necessity for our house. We definitely wanted to spend more on the kitchen and upgrade the kitchen, then have a bath. So essentially it really is just like a give and take process until you kind of reach your budget or are under your budget. You never want to go above your budget. And for us, honestly, that was something that was really, really important, that we did not go over that budget, even if it was like $1,000. Okay, so after the second meeting with Signature Homes, I then had a meeting with our kitchen designer supplier company that Signature Homes uses. And again, the lady that I worked with at this kitchen place was super, super useful. She definitely had my intentions in mind and what I wanted, and she was definitely like on my side. She didn't push her ideas or suggestions too much onto me. I mean, I kind of walked into this meeting knowing exactly what I wanted. So first of all, we wanted a stone top kitchen and island. That is more expensive than just I don't even know what they are. Like, are they acrylic? Whatever it is, the standard kitchen tops, we didn't want that. It just felt very plasticky and just weird. So we definitely wanted a nice stone top. And I mean, throughout this whole thing, I was actually Snapchatting Thomas to show him certain things and letting him know what I decided on and if he liked it, and the whole thing. So like Thomas and I kept in communication through these meetings, even though he wasn't at them, if that makes sense. And I think that's pretty important if you're buying with someone. At this meeting, I decided the colour, the material of our stone top. I actually chose, I think, 2 different ones, and I asked for a quote for both of them, and we were just going to go with whatever was the most cost effective, because both of the stone that I chose, they were actually around the same colour but just different brands, so it didn't really matter which one it was. Also chose the colour of all of our cupboards and cabinets, and also chose the pantry colour and material of that. This is some of the sample kind of swatches that I got. These 2 are what we're into for our kitchen cupboards. Oh yeah, we also chose the sink at this meeting as well. So now, we're about 3 months into this process, and at this stage we are now waiting for a addendum from Signature Homes, which is apparently about to come, like, I think today, and we're having an addendum meeting in about a few days' time. And essentially what that means, the addendum is a document that captures all of your changes and everything else you get in your home and services. So it's a pretty important document. Between the agent, myself and Thomas, we're going to be doing a 3-way call to discuss the addendum. We're going to have it in front of us and just go over every single thing that is included in our house, the changes that we've made. That's going to be really, really exciting. That is where we're at right now. We're about at the 3-month mark and things are moving along really, really fast. We're about to basically sign away on exactly what is going to go down in our house. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and it was maybe somewhat useful, especially if you are looking to build or even buy your own place. Like, this is such an exciting time for us. I can't wait to be doing more of these house build videos throughout the entire journey. It's honestly like one of my favorite things. Like, I'm so for this. I guess I'll see you guys in my next house build video. Bye. He just said bye as well. I love you. I love you. I love doing life with you, Shadow. We're gonna have a house soon. A house for me and you and T.